we have our BiPAP machine that was upgraded from the company. So they added this mold as high flow nasal cannula with our BiPAP. Okay, how to differentiate any BiPAPs from the BiPAP that got the mold of high flow. And in the filter here, expiratory, okay, inspiratory, there is sign says high flow high flow nasal cannula. So you can use this as a BiPAP, and there is a mode where you can switch it, okay, I'll show you later, to use it as high flow nasal cannula. See, high flow will never replace BiPAP or CPAP, okay, it will never replace. All right, but high flow gives you kind of continuous pressure. Okay, actually it's a flow, it's not pressure. Okay, it gives you a flow that will keep the airway open. So it will work as a PEEP, which is CPAP. So PEEP is positive end expiratory pressure, and CPAP is continuous positive airway pressure. So it will work as a CPAP. In some ways, okay, by increasing the flow. Okay, so in high flow we use only oxygenation and flow. So by increasing the flow, all right, that means we are giving some kind of PEEP to the airway because we're keeping the airway open all the time. Okay, so the indication of the high flow nasal cannula is more for hypoxemic patient. The hypoxic patient whose saturation is low or PO2 in the arterial is low. So you connect the patient on high flow to give them more oxygenation to keep the airway open, so it will works as a CPAP. Some diseases that high flow nasal cannula work on, like we said, it will work on obstructive sleep apnea, but not all the time, okay? The pulmonary edema patient, okay? So the problem with pulmonary edema is congestion, and congestion, you know, the change the gas flow, oxygen and CO2, so their PO2 drops, okay? So we use it on pulmonary edema patient also, okay? Patients that really don't need much of, they're in distress, but their CO2 is stable, okay? So we can use this on, okay? But if a patient on nasal cannula and you want to keep him on high flow, really doesn't need it. A patient who needs high flow devices, like patient on rebreather mask, which is 100%, okay? Patient on more than 60% of FiO2, like Venturi mask, if they demands or requires more oxygen, you keep them on high flow nasal cannula. It's very good advantage for the patient because you give humidification to the patient. Okay, so it doesn't really deliver the flow, the dry flow. Okay, it will work as the hair and the moist in our nose, but you give them more heat and more moist by using the heated humidifier here. Okay, so that's the big advantage of high flow. So you're giving high flow of oxygen, but on the other hand, you keep their airway moist. So that will decrease the percentage of dryness in the nose and dry secretion. So the patients are already having secretion and you put them on high flow without any humidification, they will have dry secretions, and then they will maybe have mucus plug, or they cannot get it out, so maybe they will have lung collapse or atelectasis sometimes, okay, they're not moving and they're bedridden, okay. So that's the advantage of humidification and moist. Okay, so now how to assemble the circuit. So this is what I meant actually. You need a special humidifier, okay, that you can go up with the temperature and low, all right? But this is disposable container of the humidifier, it's okay, it will work. As long as your tubings having, you know, connection for heated wires, okay? Because if you see the difference between, where's the BiPAP tubing? Okay, that one comes direct, goes from the machine direct to the humidifier. There is no connection for any heated wires. Okay, yes. See the difference? Okay. All right. Got it all? Okay. So you need 1, 2, and 3. Okay. From the machine to the patient. So far we are the same as connecting BiPAP tubings, okay? Then this is the difference, okay? Okay? So, and that's the advantage of a heated humidifier. Main thing is you need some source of heating the circuit. There is a wire inside, you see, it's foiled, okay? That's the advantage of a heated humidifier. You need a circuit with heaters, okay? So you connect this, that goes from here, there is one opening, okay? From the humidifier, sorry. Okay, to the patient, okay? And there is one here with a 3 heads. See the connection? It got 3 heads, okay? You cannot go wrong because it's already coded. So this one that has 3 heads, okay? You see the big 2 holes on the top and then one small one. So you just go by the shape of the connection, okay? Wires for the heaters, and that one a probe as a probe to check the temperature of the circuit. So this one got, see, like 2 sharp heads. That's sensors. That's checking the temperature of the circuit. So you connect it here. You open it, okay, and you connect it like this. See. There is another wire. So 1, 2, and this one to check the temperature close to the patient. So if he's using mask or tracheostomy, there is also tracheostomy and or nasal. You want to check the temperature. Okay, should be closer to the patient. So one last probe. You connect here. Okay. This for this nasal cannula. Okay, there is small, medium, and large, and you can find it on the sticker on the bag. Okay, so this one is small. Okay, small. So those ports will be smaller than large, or there is a connection here. You connect. Okay, all right, connected. You see, there is this one, a clip. You can clip. You can hold this on the patients if you want, okay? But we have to see how you connect this nasal cannula, okay? My beautiful assistant here can demonstrate, okay? All right? It's the same as the strap of the BiPAP, okay? So this one goes in, not out. If it's out, it will block it will touch the mucosa, and then it will block the flow. And then here you will have alarm that says blockage or not reaching the recommended flow. Okay, so that's the troubleshooting of this machine. Okay, we already said it. Okay, so not many alarms on this one. You have only 2 alarms. I will talk about it later. All right. So now to connect. Okay, so see, it goes in, not out. So those straps goes, see, like that. All right, and then you can strap it. Adjust it with the straps. Okay, that's it. And if you want to make sure that it will not tangled like that, so you connect this one, clip. Okay. We'll wrap it up quickly. How to connect it first? You connect the oxygen and the AC power. Then you make sure you have a proper humidifier. You make sure you have 3 wires. Okay, so 2 wires with 3 connections, tubings. Okay, so after you connected the one from the machine to the humidifier, and then the long one from the humidifier to the patient, you make sure you chose the proper size of nasal cannula to your patient, okay, and then connected the temperature, the heat probe, then the temperature, and then the patient's temperature probe. Okay? Yeah. How to turn the machine on and which options this high flow nasal cannula located at in your BiPAP. Okay. So when you first turn it on, you will have this menu, which is a BiPAP machine.
Yeah.
A BiPAP settings, right? Okay. So to go to the high flow, you have to make standby. So it was on this menu, BiPAP. You go to standby, okay, and then there is ventilation or high flow. Okay, so you choose high flow. Okay, you chose high flow now. You have only two options to increase only the flow, to adjust the flow, and the FiO2. All right. If you want to start, you start the machine. But first of all, you have to make sure. Okay. You have to make sure how to adjust your settings, the flow and the oxygenation. All of us resting at rest, we requires 20 to 30 liters per minute flow. Okay, generate flow so they can carry the oxygen and it goes to the gas exchange. So if the patient in distress and hypoxic, okay, maybe a little bit tachypnic because of the hypoxemia, okay, or in distress, you want to start them at 60. So you want to start at high flow, okay, and oxygen you can keep it 100 also. If they're 88 or 80, so you can first of all, okay, you start this flow up and down like the BiPAP, okay, and then if FiO2 you can also start on 60 or 100, no problem, okay, and then you accept, okay. When you're happy, okay, you can make start high flow. I'll make all of you to start to play with this later, okay. So you connect it now, all right, you connect it on the patient, okay. It will give this kind of sound, see, that reminds you of what kind of modes in the BiPAP, CPAP. So it gives you only one kind of pressure, okay, that's continuous positive airway pressure, but this gives you only flow, okay. So you hear this sound, you don't hear inspiratory, expiratory, inspiratory, expiratory. It's only one sound, okay. That means you're giving only flow. So you start with high flow and then you go down, okay, according to the ABGs, according to the patient's vitals. So after you connecting on the patient on this high flow, the patient hypoxemia will be fixed, okay. Then the distress will go away. This respiratory trying to compensate, right? So high respiratory rate, I mean. So now the patient is calm after like 1 or 2 hours, okay. You can connect him and take blood gas after 1 hour to see the difference between pre and post connection, okay. So this is really all about it, okay. When you reach the flow of, let's say, when you reach flow of 40, okay, and a FiO2 of, let's say, 40 also, or 30, that means the patient is weanable now, or 40. You can switch them on low flow devices, like nasal cannula, okay? Nasal cannula, you can try it from 1 to 5 liters. That gives you around 30 something percentage of oxygen, okay? In the end, okay, you make sure to connect your circuit. Your temperature should be, of course, you have to turn this on. We forgot, anyway, it should be on. Okay, and the starting temperature should be 38 to 37. Okay, and sometimes there will be water here. You have to drain it. Also, that's another problem.
What will the saline?
Saline, no problem. Okay.
ET and the mask.
Okay. There is ETT and mask option. So by pressing on this button, okay, continuous pressing, it goes to ETT. Continuous pressing goes to that picture of face. Okay. Then it will adjust itself until it reach certain type temperature. Okay. Then you can increase it. Okay, by these knobs also, by this. Now, let's say, another thing, sorry. Now, to connect the patient back on BiPAP. Let's say the patient, he doesn't need, or he needs BiPAP during night, and during the day he needs something high, so he can eat. So this is the advantage of this machine. Not to continue the machine on mask BiPAP continuously, 24 hours. So you give him break by connecting on nasal cannula. By that time, he can, you will give him a chance to talk to the doctors, to talk to the family, eat, drinks, read, whatever. He feels normal while there is high flow oxygenation on him. Okay? So that's the advantage of this machine also. Okay? Now the doctor wants you to keep him on BiPAP during night. What to do? Any smarts here? Any volunteers?
Change the tubing.
Well, that's one way, okay, which is good, but you will be wasting too much tubings, right?
Maybe
Right?
Connect here.
So you
From the
have
mode.
some of the tubings here. It comes with this piece, which is exhalation port. Okay. Okay. So it's a universal size. Okay. All right. See. Okay. Okay. Exhalation port. Okay. And then you need one more tubings. Why? To check your measurements. How much tidal volume he's taking, how much minute ventilation by connecting here. Okay, so some of them also comes in a line. Yes. See this one. There are two types of this high flow tubings actually. I saw one, it comes with these and one without it. So if you see one tubing that doesn't have that one, then you need to open a circuit, BiPAP circuit. Yes. Or you can waste the tubings by cutting this piece only. So it's up to you. Okay, here. It needs some trick also here. Okay, got it. And then you connect it to the pressure. There.
Yeah.
Pressure inlet. Okay. Okay. So connect it here. All right. Now, and don't forget the mask, because if you keep connecting on this one will not first of all, it will not fit. Then second, okay, on BiPAP, okay, this will not work. There are special, it's called pillows, right? Airway, okay? It's not like it's not this. This one meant for high flow. Okay? You can use mask, nasal mask, or nasal oral mask, but not that one. Okay? Now you connect it. Now, what do you want to do next? What do you want to do next?
Change the
Change
mode.
the settings.
Exactly. How to change the mode?
Use standby.
Okay.
We'll go on standby.
So now you're in high flow. Back to BiPAP. Okay. You're gonna do it. High flow. High flow. Okay. Because it was on. Okay. Now you adjust your BiPAP settings. Okay. So if you want to go back now to high flow, how to do it? One more, because I want to say something. Okay? Now, what to remove? Of course, if you try to come to connect, it will not connect. So, logically, you will remove this one. It's okay, you can keep it. It will not affect this one. But this will affect if you want to change from high flow to BiPAP. But from BiPAP to high flow, this will not change any things of the parameters, or it will not give alarms. But when you change it from high flow to BiPAP, it will give you alarm. Two kinds of alarm, red and yellow. Yellow means not really danger, but you have to take action. Okay? It's not really risky to the patient. Red means it's risky, because on this pressure you cannot really know how much pressure you're delivering. Here, 18, and how much tidal volume you will get. Okay? So we talked from high flow to BiPAP, you have to make standby. So your main button is standby to change from high flow to BiPAP. Okay, and then from BiPAP you choose also the standby to go to high flow. So standby is your main button for this high playing between high flow and BiPAP.